There's a lot of mythology about fast food. Johnny used to learn the value of hard work. He'd work a few hours in his first job. That's not the case, folks. That's a romanticized version of a world that doesn't exist. 80% of the workforce in these fast food places, 80% are people of color. Two-thirds are women. The majority are breadwinners. And we have the opportunity to reward that contribution, reward that sacrifice, and stabilize an industry in turn. What a remarkable moment.
Gang, California just makes one ridiculous decision after another. And time again, the woke establishment proves they don't care about truly hardworking Americans. On April 1st, no, that wasn't made up. April 1st, the minimum wage went up to $20 an hour for fast food workers. And the Democrats, of course, want you to think they've only got your best interests in heart. But of course, not only is this raising the price of the minimum wage, it's raising the price of the very food that they're serving. I mean, significantly. California Democrats aren't stupid. They know that the true outcome of this minimum wage increase will have a domino effect in the form of layoffs and reduced hours, as well as insanely high prices on everything across the board. Just watch. I mean, the effects will reach far more than just the fast food industry. All areas of the job sector will struggle. And while almost all areas of the job sector are seeing an increase in applicants, those same applicants are struggling to get a good job with the right pay and benefits they desire. Today, I am joined by my friend and sponsor, Brian Golod, here to discuss the minimum wage issue, as well as how to walk you through every step of finding, negotiating, and landing the perfect job where maybe you won't have to be under the thumb of wokeness anymore, even in this absurd Biden economy. Actually, you need to join Brian's free training by clicking on the link below or going to AmericanDreamSalary.com. That's AmericanDreamSalary.com, so he can give you the insider secrets to job hunting success. So, Brian, welcome back. Great to see you again, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me for the third time now. I appreciate you immensely. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. It's great. I mean, and a lot of people, we got a lot of comments from our first conversation about Javier Milei. Brian is, and I forget, is an Argentine or Argentinian? I think that was our debater discussion at the beginning. So anyway, great to see you again, Brian. So you've seen what's happening in California. You are a jobs expert. What do you make of this whole minimum wage increase? And I'm particularly interested here in where this is, how is this, and is this in any way going to end well for hardworking, I would say, Americans, but particularly Californians?
So a couple of things, maybe three things come to mind immediately. The first one is you keep inflating the price of everything, just like you were alluding to just a moment ago, artificially, right? You keep on saying, yes, you are increasing the minimum salary, minimum wage for people, but you're making it worse for everyone out there. So it's really optics. You make it seem like you're actually helping workers, but you're not necessarily helping them. You're just basically just buying their votes, legally buying their votes, right? You make it seem for the uneducated or the ones who have less education, like you're actually helping them, but you're not necessarily helping them. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Second thing that comes to mind is why we live in America. In America, the American dream is not about living and working for minimum wage. I do understand that there are many jobs out there that pay minimum wage, and there are many great workers out there that can only, at this very moment, only aspire to work minimum wage jobs. But America and the American dream is about living differently.
Right.
And I don't know anyone who's living a dream, making money or earning their hard-earned money at minimum wage. That's not a dream. So since this is the land of opportunities, I implore everyone to just try to get out of this situation and to just not be okay with working for minimum wage.
Right.
I worked for minimum wage when I first landed, when I first immigrated. But I got out of that situation because I came with a big dream. So I want to implore to you to do something, to acquire some skills. The information of the world is available for free on the internet today.
Right.
There's no reason to just be okay with making minimum wage. You can acquire knowledge, turn it into skills and experience and expertise, and get out of this situation.
Hmm. So well said. You're an expert job seeker coach, and I'm curious, how do you see this rise in the minimum wage affecting, leverage here for a job seeker, wage negotiations, and how do you see it affecting employment trends in other sectors other than the fast food industry?
So I come from the technology industry. No one in technology deserves to make minimum wage. I
Mm.
understand this. Um, Here's the thing: I love to get well paid for what I do, for the value that I bring to the table. Right? When you are interviewing for minimum wage jobs, they know that if it's not you, it's going to be someone else. There's not much leverage for you to be able to actually negotiate in a minimum wage job. That's why
Right.
I'd like to implore everyone to empower you and inspire you to get out of this situation so that you can actually negotiate for what you're worth. Remember back during the pandemic, how they were actually paying people, giving them an incentive because they couldn't find enough workers. But guess what? The pandemic is gone. And now who has control again? The
Right.
employers. The employers
Right.
are saying, okay, I guess if by law we have to increase our minimum wage, we'll just increase the price of the product. So we
Right.
all get impacted by this. But if you get out of this situation, you do not make minimum wage anymore, you can now start to negotiate. I'll give you
Mm.
one small example, just one small example. There's someone, her name is Sylvie. She's an immigrant. She came from Cameroon.
Mhm.
First job in the States, okay? 5 interviews. Her last one is today from a fifth company. 4 interviews with 4 different companies. She already got the four job offers. Okay.
Wow.
The first one that she got was for 80,000 bucks. The next one was for 90,000. The next one was for 100,000. And she told me while she was waiting for her paperwork, she said, "That's it. I'm not interviewing anymore." I said, "No, Sylvie,
Mm.
you're not starting yet. You still have a month until you get the paperwork to be able to start working. What are you going to do? You're not going to just relax and enjoy life. No, no, no. You still have time to keep on seeing and exploring whether there are any other possibilities." Her job offer, her highest now, is $150,000 a year plus
Wow.
10% bonus, yearly
Wow.
bonus. That's
That's
165 for her
almost
first
yeah,
job.
yeah, exactly, yeah, wow.
Crazy, right? But not so crazy when you know how to navigate this system.
Right, right, right. I'm I'm curious if you think that California is a very large part of our economy.
Mhm.
Will this change have any effect on the economy as a whole? It's already in shambles with the Biden administration. Is it gonna make it any worse?
When you artificially inflate the economy and you keep on printing and you keep on raising salaries artificially and you're not allowing businesses out there to actually control the demand, right? If they're paying you low and they cannot actually find workers, then they will need to do that naturally, but not because the government is telling them what to do, right? They will need to actually start compensating people higher. But here's the thing: I just came back from a trip from Boise, Idaho, and a lot of people from California are moving not only to Boise, Idaho, they're moving all across the country. There's a huge move. Why? Because the cost of home and rent has gone up significantly, and people want to find more affordable places where to live. So there's a huge shift. And of course, it's going to impact everybody across the country. And now other states are welcoming, or not welcoming, but receiving a lot of new immigrants from across the states as well. So it will impact their jobs too.
Right, 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 right. So in many ways, there can be a blessing to that, where you're bringing in brand new entrepreneurial blood, as it were, into red states and across the country, as it were. Okay, all right. It's time to go from victim to victor here.
Mhm.
There are, I'm sure, a lot of patriots out there who are looking for a job change. So, what's the first step for someone who's looking to secure a new job position and wants to get that leg up on the competition?
I call it square zero. What is it? I see a lot of professionals who reach out to me and they say, "Brian, I've been applying for jobs, not getting any luck. I've spent so much time and effort." And I tell them, it's not about luck. If you want luck, go to the bingo, go to the casino, play the slot machines, buy a lottery ticket. It's not about luck. It's about knowing how to navigate the system. Okay. It's not broken, by the way. It's complex. It's not easy, but if you know how to navigate it, you will be able to get the job. And here's the thing, it's not about time and it's not about effort. Please, for anyone who has been job searching for a while, don't get into this trap thinking that, oh, it's just a few days away. You're always thinking, oh, it's just one interview away. I had someone who interviewed for 30 different companies. His name is Troy. He's probably watching you, by the way. Amazing guy. And his wife, Bronwyn. Um, 30 interviews for someone who is incredibly capable and was unable to get the job until he realized, I need to put my ego to the side, my pride to the side. And now he was able to get the job within 3 days after 16 months of being unemployed. True story. Not kidding about this. Okay. 16 months unemployed, met me, thanks to you, Dr. Turley. I love you. You're amazing. 3 days later, he got the job. Okay. So here's the thing, square zero, what is it? What I see constantly is a lot of professionals who are applying to a whole bunch of different jobs. When I say jobs, I mean roles, different roles. For example, I come from technology, so I'm going to talk about this. Someone is a full stack developer, a business analyst, a product owner, a scrum master, and they're applying to all 4 different roles. If you really want to find fulfillment, happiness, joy, excitement, financial wealth as well, decide what it is that you want to do with your career. You cannot be okay with just doing anything. There has to be something that brings you the most satisfaction. Something that you're like, wow, God, I'm pinching myself every single day. I can't believe that you chose me to live this amazing life. In order for you to live that amazing life, you have to be in control. You need to decide exactly what you want to do. And stop applying to a whole bunch of different jobs because the one that basically you're interested in is not getting anywhere. Understand how to land those interviews and how to convert them into job offers, and forget about anything else. Anything else is noise. And at the end of the day, when you do end up getting one of these other jobs, you will not be done yet. Why? Because you will not be fulfilled. Eventually, one day, 1, 2, 3, 6 months down the road, you will be like, why am I doing this? I'm not happy. I have a job, but now I have to start with all the job search all over again. So you may as well just spend your time and effort efficiently and effectively towards the job that you really want, not just anything.
Right, right, right. Well said. Well, let's get you some more Troys here. You've got a free training that's coming up for our patriots out there. What can our listeners expect from a free training with you when they click on that link below?
A lot of clarity, a lot of understanding of how the job search and the hiring process works. I love making sure that, I love teaching people. I love educating people. And this is one thing that I was going to say at the beginning of this interview with you today, that there's something like handing fish over to people, increasing minimum wage, and so on, right? And there's another thing, which is teaching people how to fish. Give them the tools, give them value, give them something that is tangible, actionable, so they can actually start to make changes. So I appreciate immensely everyone who's deciding to spend your time with Dr. Turley, of course, and with me today. I want you to know that anytime that you spend watching me or listening to me, I want you to walk away more empowered and inspired with actual tangible tools, frameworks, tactics, something that you can do differently and understand yourself better. So if you ever want to spend time with me, I promise you that it is in my heart to leave you better than I found you.
I love it. Gang, this is why I love having Brian. You inspire me, man. I get so fired up when I listen to you. I love having Brian on because he's not a victim. He's a victor. And I love it so much. I love the immigration narrative behind it, coming to a land, a promised land for a better life, and living out that dream and not taking anything for granted. And you're the reason why things are wonderful in the midst of the craziness. So, gang, definitely click on that link below. Brian has this free training that's going to help you find that job and that amazing salary that you've always been looking for, so you can build that parallel economy in your own life and be a proactive patriot defending faith, family, and freedom. Click on the link below or go to AmericanDreamSalary.com. That's AmericanDreamSalary.com. Do it right now and get started on this path to your amazing new position. The free training that Brian does is absolutely wonderful. We've heard so many amazing things about it from fellow patriots in the audience, and I know he's going to bless you as well. Brian, thank you for pumping me up, man. Thank you for I mean, it could be, when you're analyzing all the stuff out there that I do each day, you can a lot of times you can be like, people have been laughing because of late I'm saying, oh, I'm getting black pilled, guys. I don't know. Things are not looking good. When I talk to you, I feel I'm right back on the right path. So I appreciate that very much.
Can I say one last thing, if you don't mind?
Please. Of course, yeah.
Troy was telling me last night, I was meeting with him and Bronwyn, his wife, and he was telling me that he felt like a failure, and it touched
Yeah.
my heart. And I want to just leave everyone here listening, watching today. If you feel like that, please don't. It's anything else that you do throughout your life, you manage to overcome it, right? You have a pain in your tooth, you go to the dentist. You have something happening with your vehicle, you go to the mechanic. You have something happening with your knee, you go to the doctor. Something with your heart, you go to another doctor. Don't allow this confusion, this complexity of the job search to deter you from unlocking your full potential. Don't be your own obstacle. Get out of your own way, put your pride and ego to the side, and reach out for guidance.
Yeah.
That's the best advice that I can give you.
From your lips to God's ears, Brian, thank you so much for being with us again. I can't wait for the next time.